This is disc number 5.
August 2036. The Old Ones. And what more natural than that? At last the old people come to Mars, following in the trail left by the loud frontiersmen, the aromatic sophisticates, and the professional travelers and romantic lecturers in search of new grist. And so the dry and crackling people, the people who spent their time listening to their hearts and feeling their pulses and spooning syrups into their wry mouths. These people who had once taken their cars to California in November and third-class steamers to Italy in April. The dried apricot people, the mummy people, came at last to Mars.
September 2036, The Martian. First rain of the season.
It's good.
Very welcome.
Ugh, it's cold. Come and warm yourself by the fire, Leif.
Looking out this window and seeing the rocket out there that brought us from Earth.
What about it?
Yeah, there's just one thing.
What?
I wish we could have brought Tom with us.
Oh, now, Leif.
I won't start again. I'm sorry.
We came here to enjoy our old age in peace, not to think of Tom. He's been dead so long now. We should try to forget him and everything on Earth.
You're right. I won't speak of it anymore. It's just that I miss driving to Green Lawn Park every Sunday to put flowers on his marker. It used to be our only excursion. Anna, are you awake?
Yes.
Did you hear something?
Nothing.
Someone is whistling.
No, I didn't hear it.
I'm going to get up and see anyhow. Who's there?
What do you see, Leif?
It's a small figure. Who is it? What do you want? Who are you?
Why are you shouting?
A small boy is standing in the yard, and he won't answer me. He looks like Tom.
Come to bed. You're dreaming.
But he's there. See for yourself. See?
He's just standing there, staring at us. His eyes, they look so distant. Go away!
Doesn't it look like Tom?
It's not moving. I'm afraid. Lock the door and come to bed. I won't have anything to do with it.
Tom, if that's you, if by some chance it's you, Tom, I'll leave the door unlatched. And if you're cold and want to come in to warm yourself, just come in later and lie by the hearth. There's some fur rugs there.
It's a terrible night. I feel so old.
Hush, hush. Go to sleep. Tom.
The morning sun is hot already. It doesn't take long. What are you staring at?
The hearth rugs, they're empty. I'm getting old. I'll take the bucket and get some water from the canal.
I'll make the bed.
Good morning, Father.
Morning, Tom. I...
It's a fine day.
Yes. Yes, it is. Tom, how did you get here? You're alive?
Shouldn't I be?
Tom, Green Lawn Park, every Sunday, the flowers, and... Oh, I have to sit down. Here, let me take your hand. You're really here. It's not a dream?
You do want me to be here, don't you?
Yes. Yes, Tom.
Then why ask questions? Accept me.
But your mother, the shock.
Don't worry about her. During the night I sang to both of you, and you'll accept me more because of it, especially her. I know what the shock is. Wait till she comes. You'll see.
Good morning, Leif. Tom, isn't it a fine day?
See? That was a wonderful lunch, Mother.
I'm happy you liked it, Tom.
How old are you now, son?
Don't you know, Father? 14, of course.
Who are you, really? You can't be Tom, but you are someone. Who?
Don't.
You can tell me. I'll understand. You're a Martian, aren't you? I've heard tales of the Martians. Nothing definite, but stories about how rare Martians are, and when they come among us, they come as Earthmen. There's something about you. You're Tom, and yet you're not.
Why can't you accept me and stop talking? Don't doubt. Please, don't doubt me.
Where's Tom going? Did you say something to bother him?
Anna, do you remember anything about Green Lawn Park? A marker? And Tom having pneumonia?
What are you talking about?
Never mind.
He's been gone for hours.
I didn't mean to make him run off. Hello?
Tom!
Are you gonna ask me anything?
No questions.
Swell.
Well, where have you been?
Near the town. I almost didn't come back. I was almost trapped.
How do you mean, trapped?
I passed a small tin house by the canal, and I was almost made so I couldn't come back here ever and see you. I don't know how to explain it to you. There's no way... I can't tell you. Even I don't know. It's strange. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, we won't, then. I'd better wash up, boy. It's supper time. Hello there?
Who's that?
It sounds like Saul. Yep, it's Saul on his boat. He's slowing down in front of the house.
Evening, Brother Lafarge.
Evening, Saul. What's the word?
All kinds tonight. You know that fella named Nomland who lives down the canal in the tin hut?
Yes.
You know what sort of a rascal he was?
Rumor has it he left Earth because he killed a man.
Remember the name of the man he killed?
Gillings, wasn't it?
Right, Gillings. Well, about 2 hours ago, Mr. Nomland came running down to town crying about how he'd seen Gillings alive here on Mars today, this afternoon. He tried to get the jail to lock him up safe, and the jail wouldn't. So Nomland went home, and 20 minutes later, as I get the story, it blew his brains out with a gun. I just came from there.
Well.
The darndest things happen. Well, good night, Lafarge.
Good night.
Supper's hot.
Tom, what'd you do this afternoon?
Nothing. Why?
Just wanted to know.
I I'd like to go into town. Haven't been there in months.
But I'm afraid of the town.
Why?
The people. I don't want to go there.
Such talk for a grown boy. I won't listen to it. You'll come along. I say so.
Anna, if the boy doesn't want to...
I'll hear no more of it.
The people. Changing and changing. The trap.
It will be all right.
A pleasant voyage down the canal and into town, and here we are.
I wish I was home.
You never talked that way before. You always liked Saturday nights in town.
Stay close to me. I don't want to get trapped.
Stop talking that way. Come along.
I'll stick with you, Tommy boy. We won't stay long.
Nonsense. We'll spend all evening. Ooh, there's a lot of people. Now, Tom, you... Tom? Where is he? He's always running off alone every chance he gets. Tom! He's gone.
He'll come back. He'll be at the boat when we leave.
Look out! Get out of the way, please! Look out! Let me through!
Joe Spaulding!
Out of the way, please! Let me get by! Hurry! Move!
He didn't even see me. What was he in such a hurry for?
No idea.
And let's get the theater tickets and go see the show.
$11. Where can he be?
I don't know.
He should have been here by now.
Oh, Mother, don't worry. I'll find him. You just wait here.
Hurry back.
Warm night. Lights in the houses going out one by one. It is getting late. Where is he? Why was he always saying something about being trapped? His fear of crowds and cities. There's no sense in it. He might be gone forever. Or perhaps he never had been.
Hello there, Lafarge.
Hello, Mike.
You and your woman quarrel? You out walking it off?
No, just walking.
You look like you lost something. Speaking of lost things, somebody got found this evening.
Oh?
You know Joe Spaulding?
Yes.
Remember his daughter, Lavinia?
Yes.
Lavinia came home tonight. You recall she was lost on the Dead Sea bottoms about a month ago? They found what they thought was her body, badly deteriorated. And ever since, the Spaulding family's been no good. Joe went around saying she wasn't dead. That wasn't really her body. Guess he was right. Tonight, Lavinia showed up.
Where?
On Main Street. Spauldings were buying tickets for a show. And there, all of a sudden, in the crowd, was Lavinia. Must have been quite a scene. She didn't know them first off. They followed her half down a street and spoke to her. Then she remembered.
Did you see her?
Nah, but I heard her singing. Remember how she used to sing The Bonny Banks of Loch Lomond? I heard her trilling out for her father a while ago over there in their house. It was good to hear. She's such a beautiful girl. Shame. I thought her dead. And now with her back again, it's fine. Here now, you look weak yourself. Better come in for a spot of whiskey.
Thanks, no, Mike. What will happen to Anna if I don't bring Tom home with me? A second shock, a second death. What will it do to her? Will she remember the first death too, and this dream, and the sudden vanishing? Oh God, I've got to find Tom. Or what will come of Anna? What's that? On the balcony. A girl.
Who's there?
It's me?
I know you. Please go. There's nothing you can do.
It is you. No, you've got to come back.
I'm not your son anymore. We should have never come to town.
Anna's waiting at the landing.
I'm sorry, but what can I do? I'm happy here. I'm loved, even as you loved me. I am what I am, and I take what can be taken. Too late now, they've caught me.
But Anna, the shock to her. Think of that.
The thoughts are too strong in this house. It's like being imprisoned. I can't change myself back.
You are You were Tom, weren't you? You aren't joking with an old man. You
You're really not Lavinia Spaulding?
I'm not anyone. I'm just myself. Wherever I am something. And now I'm something you can't help.
But you're not safe in the town. It's better out in the canal where no one can hurt you.
That's true. But I must consider these people now. How would they feel if, in the morning, I was gone again, this time for good? Anyway, the mother knows what I am. She guessed, even as you did. I think they all guessed, but didn't question. You don't question Providence. If you can't have the reality, a dream is just as good. Perhaps I'm not their dead one back, but I'm something almost better to them, an ideal shaped by their minds. I have a choice of hurting them or your wife.
They're a family of 5. They can stand your loss better.
Please, I'm tired.
You've got to come. I can't let Anna be hurt again. You're our son. You're my son. And you belong to us.
No, please.
You don't belong to this house or these people.
No, don't do this to me.
Tom, son, listen to me. Come back. Slip down the vines, boy. Come along. Anna's waiting. We'll give you a good home, everything you want.
All right, Father.
Tom!
Who's down there?
Hurry, boy! They're turning on the house lights. Jump! I'll catch you! Hurry!
Stop! I have a gun. Vinny, are you all right?
Tom!
We have to hurry.
Tom, you go that way. I'll go down here and lead them off. Run to the canal. I'll meet you there in 10 minutes, boy.
Be careful.
Anna! Anna, I'm here!
Where's Tom?
He'll be here any minute.
Hold up there!
Anna, here he comes.
But that's not Tom. It's just a shape with a face like silver. Look, it's shining in the lights from the town.
No, look again. The shape. Now it looks more like Tom. It is Tom. Quick, get on board. Get ready to cast off.
Look at those people behind him. They're chasing him.
Spaulding is leading them.
Mother!
Get on board, hurry.
Don't move, Lafarge.
Officer, are you going to let him point that gun at me?
Yeah, and I'll add mine as well. Now, you down there, inside the cabin, come out! And I want your hands in the air!
What's this all about?
You're hiding a criminal.
There's no one below but my wife and my son. He's 14.
Your son? I saw him running through the streets. I saw his face and I called for him to stop. His face was that of a known criminal.
Criminal? That's my wife. I thought she was dead, but she's come back. The doctors must have been wrong.
It's Tom. My son Tom.
Lavinia! My daughter! Quiet! Quiet! There you are. You're coming home with me.
No, I can't.
Wait, he's my prisoner. His name's Dexter and he's wanted for murder.
You haven't got me, wishful thinker.
No, it's my husband. I guess I know my own husband.
Don't let them take me, Linda.
No! Get back! This is my son. You have no right to accuse him of anything. We're going home right now.
Don't let them take me, Father.
No! Get back!
Ow!
Lena! Oh, God. His face. It's dissolving.
Like wax. He's dead.
Tom.
Come along home, Anna. There's nothing we can do. Listen. Did you hear something?
Nothing. Nothing.
I'll go look anyway.
Stay in bed. It's too cold to go check. Do you see anything? Is there anything out there?
Rain from the black sky, falling into an empty dooryard, into the canal, and among the blue mountains.
November 2036. The Luggage Store.
And that's all the information, unfortunately, that we have at this time. I wish there was more we could tell you. Speculation to when would not be accurate, but it would be dangerous. There are some things that we have no control over, and this is one of them. Please stay with us as we will remain on the air, and we'll be bringing you updates as we receive them. But for now, what we know is this.
Well, that's a fine time to turn it off.
Oh, sorry, Father Peregrine. I didn't hear you come in.
Your ears were elsewhere?
It comes from Earth on a light sound beam. Doesn't always come in clear, so I tune everything else out. Sorry, Father.
What was he saying as you shut it off?
There's going to be a war on Earth.
War?
I don't believe it.
It's because you're not there.
What do you mean, Father?
It's like when I was a boy, we heard about wars in Asia. But we never believed them. It was too far away, and there were many people dying. It was impossible. Even when we saw the news footage, we didn't believe it. Well, that's how it is now. Earth is Asia. It's so far away, it's unbelievable. It's not here. You can't touch it. You can't even see it. All you can see is a green light. 2 billion people living on that light. Unbelievable. War? We won't hear the explosions.
Oh, we will. I keep thinking about all those people that were going to come to Mars this week. What was it, 100,000 or so coming up in the next month or so? What about them if the war starts?
I imagine they'll turn back. They'll be needed on Earth.
Well, I better get my luggage dusted off. I have a feeling there'll be a rush sale here at any time.
Do you think everyone now on Mars will go back to Earth? If this thing is the big war we've been expecting for years?
It's a funny thing, Father, but yes, I think we will all go back. I know we came up here to get away from things, politics, the atom bomb, war, pressure groups, prejudice, laws, but it's still home there. You wait and see. When the first bomb drops on America, the people will start thinking. They haven't been here long enough. A couple of years is all. If they'd been here 40 years, it'd be different, but they all got relatives down there in their hometowns. Me, I can't believe in Earth anymore. I just can't imagine it much. But I'm old. I don't count. I might stay on here.
I doubt it.
Yes. I guess you're right. Look at those stars. And that bright one is Earth.
Come to think of it, you'd better give me a new valise. My old one is in pretty bad condition.
November 2036. The off-season. Here we are. Yes, sir, look at that. Look at that sign. Sam's Hot Dogs. Ain't that beautiful, Elma?
Sure, Sam.
Boy, what a change for me. If the boys from the 4th Expedition could see me now. Am I glad to be in business myself while all the rest of the guys are off soldiering around still? We'll make thousands, Elma. Thousands.
Whatever happened to Captain Wilder? That captain that killed that guy who thought he was going to kill off every other Earthman? What was his name?
Spender, that nit. He was too damn particular. Oh, Captain Wilder? He's off on a rocket to Jupiter, I hear. They kicked him upstairs. think he was a little batty about Mars, too. Touchy, you know? He'll be back down from Jupiter and Pluto in about 20 years if he's lucky. That's what he gets for shooting off his mouth. And while he's freezing to death, look at me. Look at this place. Best hot dog on two worlds. First man on Mars with a hot dog stand. The best onions and chili and mustard. You can't say I'm not alert. Here's the main highways. Over there's the dead city and the mineral deposits. Those trucks from Earth Settlement 101 will have to pass here 24 hours a day. Do I know locations or don't I?
You think those 10,000 new type work rockets will come through to Mars?
In a month. Why do you look so funny?
I don't trust those Earth people. I'll believe it when I see them 10,000 rockets arrive with the 100,000 Mexicans and Chinese on them.
Customers. 100,000 hungry people.
If there's no atomic war. I don't trust no atomic bombs. There's so many of them on Earth right now, you can never tell. Sam, look, coming towards us, that floating mask and the yellow robes. It's that friend of yours.
What?
It's like it is floating.
So you're back again?
Yes, Mr. Parkhill. I've come to speak to you again.
I thought I told you. I don't want you near here. Go on, or I'll give you the disease.
I've already had the disease. I was one of the few survivors. I was sick a long time.
Go on, and hide in the hills. That's where you belong. That's where you've been. Why you come down here and bother me? Now, all of a sudden, twice in a day.
We mean you no harm.
But I mean you harm. I don't like strangers. I don't like Martians. I've never seen one before. It ain't natural. All these years you guys hide, and all of a sudden you pick on me? Leave me alone!
We've come for an important reason.
If it's about this land, it's mine. I built this hot dog stand with my own hands.
In a way, it is about the land.
Look here. I'm from New York City. Where I come from, there's 10 million others just like me. You Martians are a couple of dozen left, got no cities. You wander around the hills, no leaders, no laws. And now you come, tell me about this land? Well, the old got to give way to the new. That's the law of give and take. I got a gun here. After you left this morning, I got out and loaded it.
We Martians are telepathic. We are in contact with one of your towns across the Dead Sea. Have you listened to your radio?
My radio's busted.
Then you don't know. There's big news. It concerns Earth. Observe. Let me show you this.
Bronze tube? What is that?
A gun!
What did you do? He just collapsed like he melted. Look, his mask and this tube he was holding.
Don't touch that!
Well, this is no weapon. He was going to show you a message. It's all written out in snake script, all the blue snakes. I can't read it. Can you?
No, that Martian picture writing. It wasn't anything. Let it go. There may be others. We've got to get him out of sight. Get the shovel.
What you gonna do?
Bury him, of course.
You shouldn't have shot him.
It was a mistake. Quick. I'm sorry what happened. You know, it was purely the circumstances of fate.
Yeah.
I hated like hell to see him take out that weapon.
What weapon?
Well, I thought it was one. I'm sorry. How many times do I have to say it? Shh. Shh. I don't care. I got the whole Earth Settlements Inc. backing me. These Martians won't dare.
Look! The dead sea bottom.
Elma? Elma? Elma!
Here they come! Sand ships! Far off!
Sand ships! But there aren't any more, Elma. No more sand ships.
That's what they look like.
But the authorities confiscated all of them. They broke them up, sold some at auction. I'm the only one in this whole damn territory's got one and knows how to run one.
Not anymore. Look!
Come on. Let's get out of here.
Why?
They'll kill me. Get in your truck. Quick. Wait. The truck isn't running.
What?
I started working on the engine. It won't start. The sand ship. Get in.
And let you drive me in a sand ship? Oh, no.
Get in. I can do it. Get the sail up. There. Why won't it start? Oh, the anchor. Should start to pick up speed.
Look! They're falling behind.
Guess I showed them, by God. I'll report to the Rocket Corporation. They'll give me protection. I'm pretty quick.
They could have stopped you if they wanted. They just didn't bother.
Come off it. Why should they let me get away? No, they weren't quick enough, that's all.
Oh, weren't they?
Ah!
She's just sitting there at our tiller.
Go back.
No! Get off of my ship!
This isn't your ship. It's old as our world. It sailed the sand seas 10,000 years ago, when the seas were whispered away and the docks were empty, and you came and took it, stole it. Now turn it around, go back to the crossroad place. We have need to talk with you. Something important has happened.
Get off my ship! Jump off before I count to 3, or I'll shoot.
Don't. I won't hurt you. Neither will the others. We came in peace.
1.
Sam.
Listen to me.
2.
Sam.
3.
We only.
Sam, why did you... She's gone. She just folded, melted like a crystal figurine. Sam. Sam, stop the ship.
No, you don't. Not after all this time. You're not pulling out on me.
I believe you would. You actually would.
Elma, this is crazy. We'll be in town in a minute. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
Elma, listen to me.
There's nothing to hear, Sam.
Elma!
Sam! Look! We're surrounded by them. Stop! You have to stop!
1, 2, 3. They're closing in. I can't hold this many off. I'm outnumbered.
You have to stop!
They'll kill me!
They're all staring at us, all of them with those hideous masks! You have to stop!
Earthman.
I didn't do anything. It was all a mistake. I came to Mars like any honest, enterprising businessman. I took some surplus material from a rocket that crashed, and I built me the finest little stand you ever saw right there on that land by the crossroads. You know where it is. You've got to admit it's a good job of building. And then Martian came. I knew he was a friend of yours. His death was an accident, I assure you. All I wanted to do was to have a hot dog stand, the only one on Mars. The first and most important one. You understand how it is. I was going to serve the best damn hot dogs there with chili and onions and orange juice.
They're not moving.
Now, turn your ship and go back to your stand. We will not harm you. You ran away before we were able to explain. Come.
Here we are. Now what?
Ready your stand. Prepare the viands. Prepare the foods. Prepare the strange wines. For tonight is indeed a great night.
You mean you'll let me stay on here?
Yes.
You're not mad at me?
Prepare your place of food, and take this.
A scroll. Little snake figures on it. The dancing. How?
It is the land grant to all the territory from the Silver Mountains to the Blue Hills, from the dead salt sea there to the distant valleys of Moonstone and Emerald.
Mine?
Yours.
100,000 miles of territory?
Yours.
But why? Why are you giving me all this?
That is not all. Here. 6 scrolls. More territories.
What? That's half of Mars. I own half of Mars. Elma, did you hear?
I heard.
What? Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Tonight is the night. You must be ready.
I will be. What is it, a surprise? Are the rockets coming through earlier than we thought? A month earlier from Earth? All 10,000 rockets bringing the settlers, the miners, the workers and their wives, all 100,000 of them. Won't that be swell, Elma? You see, I told you that the town there won't always have just 1,000 people in it. There'll be 50,000 more coming, and the month after that, 100,000 more. And by the end of the year, 5 million Earthmen. And me with the only hot dog stand staked out on the busiest highway to the mines.
We leave you. Prepare. The land is yours.
Elma? Why did they do it? Why didn't they kill me? Don't they know anything? What's wrong with them, Elma? Do you understand? I own half of Mars. Why are you looking up at the sky? Come on. We've got to get the place fixed. All the hot dogs boiling, the buns warm, the chili cooking, the onions peeled and diced, the relish laid out, the napkins in the clips, place spotless. Hey, just think. That Martian said a surprise. That can only mean one thing, Elma. Those 100,000 people coming in ahead of schedule. Tonight of all nights, we'll be flooded. Think of the money.
Sam, there it is. Look. Earth, rising full and green like a fine-cut stone above the hills.
Good old Earth. Good old wonderful Earth. Send me you're hungry and you're starved. Something, something. How does that poem go again? Send me your hungry old Earth. Here's Sam Parkhill with his hot dogs all boiled and chili cooking. Everything neat as a pin. Come on, Earth, send me your rockets.
Sam, look. The Earth. It's on fire. It's on fire.
It can't be Earth. That's not Earth. No. That ain't Earth. It can't be.
Sam? Well, switch on more lights, turn up the music, open the doors. There'll be another batch of customers around in a million years. Gotta be ready. Yes, sir. What a swell place for a hot dog stand. Let you in on a little secret, Sam. This looks like it's gonna be an off season.
November 2036. The Watchers.
They all came out and looked at the sky at night. They left their suppers, or their washing up, or their dressing for the show, and they came out upon their now not quite as new porches and watched the green star of Earth. It was a move without conscious effort. They all did it. Why?
Why what?
Why is everyone staring so?
It helps them, us, understand the news we heard on the radio. There's Earth, and there's the coming of war. And there are hundreds of thousands of mothers and grandmothers and fathers and brothers and aunts and uncles and cousins. So we stand on our porches and try to believe in the existence of Earth.
What do you mean, believe in the existence?
Believe in it. The way we once tried to believe in the existence of Mars. It's a problem reversed.
I'm not following you.
Well, to all intents and purposes, Earth is now dead. We've been away from it for 3 or 4 years. Space is an anesthetic. 70 million miles of space numbs us, puts memory to sleep, depopulates Earth, erases the past. It allows these people here to go on with their work. But now, tonight, the dead have risen. Earth is re-inhabited. Memory awakes, and a million names are spoken.
What is Harry doing tonight on Earth?
What about Joan and the kids?
What time you got, Ben?
2 a.m.
The Earth seemed to explode at 9, catch fire and burn. Fire seemed to go out around midnight.
Earth is still there.
Yeah.
We haven't heard from Harry for a long time.
He's all right.
We should send a message to Mother.
She's all right.
Is she?
No, don't you worry.
There it is. The Earth is flashing. That's the light radio message. You read Morse code. What is it saying?
Right, Australian continent. Atomized in premature explosion of atomic stockpile. Los Angeles, London, bombed. War. Come home. Come home. Come home.
Come home! We have to go!
We can't stay here. They need our help. Come home.
At 3 in the chilly morning, the luggage store proprietor glanced up. A lot of people were coming down the street.
Stayed open late on purpose. What'll it be, mister?
By dawn, the luggage was gone from the shelves.
December 2036. The Silent Towns. There was a little white silent town on the edge of the dead Martian sea. The town was empty. No one moved in it. Lonely lights burned in the stores all day. The shop doors were wide, as if people had run off without using their keys. The town was dead. Its beds were empty and cold. The only sound was the power hum of electric lines and dynamos, still alive all by themselves. Water ran in forgotten bathtubs, poured out into living rooms, onto porches, and down through little garden plots to feed neglected flowers. Across town was a rocket port. You can still smell the hard, scorched smell where the last rocket blasted off when it went back to Earth. Hey, if I drop a dime in the telescope and point it at Earth, maybe I'll see the big war happening there. Maybe I can see New York explode. Maybe London covered with some new kind of fog. How quick was the evacuation from this town? That war on Earth must be very bad. My name is Walter Grip. I have a placer mine in a remote shack far up in the blue Martian hills. I walk to town every 2 weeks to see if I can marry a quiet and intelligent woman. I always return to the shack alone and disappointed. And now, no one in the town. I'm all alone. A phone? It's coming. From a house? Someone should answer the phone! Someone should answer the phone! Me! Good Lord, what's wrong with me? Which house? Over there? Hello? Hello? Come on! Ring again! Come on! There isn't anyone left on Mars. I haven't seen anyone the entire week. All towns must be as empty as this one is. Come on! Ring! Who was it? Interlocking dial systems connect every town on Mars. Which one of the 30 towns made the call? There wasn't anyone on the other end of that call. Maybe a pole blew down somewhere and the phone rang by itself. She won't call back. She won't ever call a number that didn't answer. She's probably dialing other houses in town right now. And here I sit. Wait a minute. Why do I keep saying she? It could as easily be a he, couldn't it? She'll phone more and more numbers. It must be a woman. Why? Only a woman would call and call. A man wouldn't. A man's independent. Did I phone anyone? No. Never thought of it. It must be a woman. It has to be, by God. Huh? That's in another house! This house here! Damn you! Porch chair! Where? There! Oh! I picked up the thin directory that listed every phone on Mars, 50,000 names. I started with number 1, Amelia Ames, in New Chicago, 100 miles over the Dead Sea. Number 2 lived in New York, 5,000 miles across the Blue Mountains. I called 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hello?
Hello, hello, hello!
I'm not able to take your call at this time. Please leave a message and I will get back to you. Hello?
Go to hell. I phoned Mars Junction, New Boston, Arcadia. Wait, then I had it. I checked the directory and dialed a long-distance call to the biggest beauty parlor in New Texas City. If there was ever a place where a woman would putter around, it would be a velvet, soft, diamond gem beauty parlor.
Hello?
If this is a recording,
This isn't a record. Hello? Oh, hello! There is someone alive. Where are you?
you! Good Lord, what luck! What's your name?
Genevieve Seltzer. Oh, I'm so glad to hear from you, whoever you are.
Walter Grip.
Hello, Walter. Walter.
Hello, Genevieve.
Walter. It's such a nice name. Walter. Walter.
Thank you.
Walter, where are you?
I'm in Marlin Village. Hello? Wind must have knocked a pole down. I know where she is anyway. I took the car from the stranger's garage, filled the back seat with food from the house, and set out at 80 miles an hour down the highway, headed for New Texas City, 1,000 miles away. I drove all day. At sunset, I pulled over to the roadside and pulled my hat down over my eyes. The Martian mountains lay all around, millions of years old. Oh, Genevieve, sweet Genevieve. The years may come, the years may go, but Genevieve, sweet Genevieve.
Hello. Oh, hello, Walter. This is no record. Where are you, Walter? Where are you?
My hand touches you in the moonlight, your long, dark hair shaking in the wind. Beautiful it is. And your lips, like red peppermints, and your cheeks like fresh-cut wet roses, and your body like a clear, vaporous mist, while your soft, cool, sweet voice croons to me once more the words to the old sad song. Oh, Genevieve, sweet Genevieve, the years may come, the years may go. I reached New Texas City at midnight. I halted in front of the Deluxe Beauty Salon. Genevieve, here I am. Hello, Genevieve. Hey, don't hide. I know you're here. Genevieve, if this is a practical joke. Wait a minute. We were cut off. Maybe she drove to Marlin Village while I was driving here. She probably took the old sea road. We missed each other during the day. How did she know I'd come get her? I didn't say I would. And she was so afraid when the phone died that she rushed to Marlin Village to find me? And here I am? My God, what a fool I am! I drove all night. What if she isn't in Marlin Village waiting? But I won't think of that. She must be there. And I'll run up and hold her, perhaps even kiss her once on the lips. Genevieve, sweet Genevieve. Marlin Village was quiet at dawn. Yellow lights were still burning in several stores. Genevieve? Genevieve? And there she was, standing in the open door of the salon. A box of cream chocolates lay open in her arms. Her fingers, cuddling it, were plump and pallid. Her face, as she stepped into the light, was round and thick, and her eyes were like two immense eggs stuck into a white mess of bread dough. Her legs were as big around as the stumps of trees, and she moved with an ungainly shuffle. Her hair was an indiscriminate shade of brown that had been made and remade, it appeared, as a nest for birds. She had no lips at all, and compensated this by stenciling on a large, red, greasy mouth that now popped open in delight. She had plucked her brows to thin antenna lines. Are you Genevieve Seltzer?
Are you Walter Griff?
Grip.
Grip.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Well?
What?
I just said well.
Oh.
Before I knew it, it was 9 o'clock at night. We spent the day picnicking, and for supper I prepared a filet mignon, but
I don't like it. It's too rare.
so I broiled it some more.
It's too much broiled or fried or something.
So I said, let's see a movie.
Okay.
But all she wanted to see was an 80-year-old film of Clark Gable.
Doesn't he just kill you? Doesn't he kill you?
The film ended.
Run it again.
Again?
Again.
Sail again, Mr. Christian.
Yes, sir.
It's our fourth voyage together.
Not quite what I expected.
I like having a
But
gentleman
you're
in this
nice.
boat. As you know,
Thanks.
I'm a man, self-made, and nothing
Oh, that Gable.
Ow! You pinched my leg!
else.
Doesn't he just kill you?
Ow!
We was directly told by South Africa, in which case we'll have to put it to the town as supplies.
How old are you?
Guess.
Oh, 30?
Well, I'm only 27, so there. Oh, here's another candy store. Look at all the nice boxes filled with candy in the window. One?
No thanks.
Honest, I've lived the life of Riley since everything exploded. I never liked my folks. They were fools. They left for Earth 2 months ago. I was supposed to follow on the last rocket, but I stayed on. You know why?
Why?
Because everyone picked on me, so I stayed where I could throw perfume on myself all day and drink 10,000 malts and eat candy without people saying, oh, that's full of calories. So here I am.
Here you are.
It's getting late.
Yes.
I'm tired.
Funny, I'm wide awake.
Oh.
I feel like staying up all night. Say, there's a good record at Mike's. Come on, I'll play it for you.
But I'm tired.
I'm very alert, strange.
Come into the beauty shop. I want to show you something. Over here. This white box. When I drove from Texas City, I brought this with me. Isn't this pink ribbon dreamy?
Well,
I thought, well, here I am, the only lady on Mars, and here is the only man, and, well, there!
what is it?
Don't you know, silly? It's all lace and all white and all fine and everything.
No, I don't know what it is.
It's a wedding dress, silly!
Is it? How nice.
Isn't it?
Genevieve?
Yes.
Genevieve, I have something to tell you.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Walter Griff, you come back here!
Grip!
You get back here this instant! Get back here!
I drove all night and all day for 3 nights and days. Once I thought I saw a car following, and I broke into a shivering sweat and took another highway cutting off across the lonely Martian world. I drove and drove for a week and a day until I had put 10,000 miles between myself and Marlin Village. Pulled into a town named Holtville Springs. Lived here ever since, with 2 deep freezes packed with food to last me 100 years, and enough cigars to last 10,000 days. And once in a while, over the long years, the phone rings. But I don't answer.
This is the end of disc number 5. Please insert disc number 6.